everybody. Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I know it's this close to Christmas. Okay, so a couple of weeks we had on Santa Claus, as you guys all remember. So we still have a jolly elf-like gentleman joining us today. Tom is always, oops, Tom is always jolly. We always love having him around. Oh, he's got lights. Okay. Hey, Tom, welcome. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Lee. I'm so excited to be here. There we go. They're lit up now.
Oh, all lit up and everything. That
I
doesn't
am,
look like Park Lane.
I know. I am so tickled to be with you tonight, and all of you up in Canada, part of Enduring Elegance. Thanks, and thanks for inviting me, Lee. I really appreciate it. I'll always join.
We're glad to have you. And like I said, we had Jolly St. Nicholas a couple of weeks ago. The girls love that, and so now we've got Jolly Tom. I got to turn on comments. Make sure I've got them happening here. Hi, everybody. As you check in, please say hello to us. Let us know you're here. So I want to, you guys know when I come on here that we usually have somebody in and we talk about Park Lane and how we got into the business and all that kind of stuff. So Tom has been in the business longer than me. I've been in direct sales for 30 years. He's been around longer than me. So I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
So, because you started out, you were in college when you decided.
I just graduated, newly married. So
Right. So, I mean, direct sales was not a really super popular thing. What made you, especially being a guy, what made you take that route?
my mother, I remember I was about 3-4 weeks in. She didn't have a party for me too until I think 4 years. Carol and I had been at 4 years before my mother had a party. And in the end, she said, I am so proud of you. I just am so proud of what you've done and everything. But about 3 weeks in, she says, this is what we sent you to University of Michigan to do? Sell underwear? But I saw, number one, I was newly married. And if you haven't met my wife, you don't understand. I am crazy in love with this woman. She is
crazy in love.
Crazy
Yes.
in love.
Crazy
She
in
is
love.
that.
Yeah.
And so anything I could do with her, I wanted to do. Secondly, she didn't cook. And it was Tupperware that we started in. So it's really tough to sell a product that you don't use and love. And my mother and grandmother had Tupperware for years. And so we really loved that. But the third reason and the big thing was I saw the opportunity. I didn't see it as coming in and making a little extra money and having fun. I was working for a beer company. I was a Teamster at that point. I just graduated from college, had moved into a marketing job. But I saw the opportunity and I saw the way our franchise owners in where we were at lived and the lifestyle they had. And I'm like, if you dedicate yourself, that's what you can have. I'm like, I'm in. I saw the life they had. So that was it. I saw the bigger picture really quickly. And remember, my first show was February 27th of 1986. So in February, on the News at Noon, any of you watch that, I will be celebrating my 40th because I remember so clearly. We went to convention in April in Chicago 2 months later, and that was where I got the vision to see the big picture. We started just because we could do it together. I could do 6 shows. That was the thing. You had to do 6 shows. I could do anything 6 times, anything. And so that was it. I came in not intended it to be a lifetime 40-year career. But then when we went to convention and saw the big picture, that was it. And after that, that was April. In July, I left my job to do it full time. So it was tried it because you have nothing to lose, stayed in it forever because I see the big picture. And I see it in people like you, Lee. I see how that's come to life with you. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's such the right decision. So
I remember one of the first times that I met Tom actually went the first time he was on stage when I had met Tom, which was at another convention for a company we were both working for at the time. And they were, introducing Tom because he kind of came out of nowhere and all of a sudden we have this new president. And I remember him coming out on stage saying, if you ever wanted to know what the number one Tupperware lady in the world looked like, and he went like this. Okay, stuck with me forever. It did, right? So, but it's just starting that long ago in a direct sales business, out of college, I know what I was up against when I was doing it 30 years ago. Is like get a real job, right? And you know where it can take you from that. So this is really really cool. You had a story you wanted to share with us.
Well, I did, and I actually want to tell you that when you look at Park Lane and you look at the direct sales industry, and this is specifically I send this message to our guests. So if you're a stylist, you're a leader, you're watching this in Enduring Elegance, I love you. You're part of the family at Park Lane. And I want to recognize we talk about convention and what convention means. Karen Tober, Elaine Doig, is it Elaine? Did I say the last name right? Got it.
Yeah.
Shelley Crossley, Christina Briscoe, Sherry Elves, Lisa Barth, Carrie Shepard, Diane. Diane's birthday's today. I hope she sees this. Happy birthday, Diane. And Victoria Huntley, that's you from Enduring Elegance. Those are the people registered for convention. And I want to just give them a shout out. Thank you. But secondly,
we've got more as well. Because
we have more. But
yeah.
You're the only ones on my list as of this morning. This is the registration. So you get recognition. I said your name on the webinar. But really, I talk about convention, and convention will give you. And Lee, this is not the story that you don't know about, but it announced today on the web that the #1 personal seller in the month of November, we're featuring her training on that. Now, I got her first. She was coming out international. It was such a good idea. They said, no, we want to do this at convention. She sold, Lee, say how much she sold in a month.
$86,000 personal sales. Personal, just her. Personal sales. I'm mind blown. I cannot wait.
It gives me goosebumps when I say that.
No
because
kidding.
I've been in a long time. I don't know that I've seen anybody sell that in a month, especially someone brand new coming in our business. And she's going to share that. So it tells you about the amazing opportunities in our business and in our industry. But here's the story I want to tell you real quick. This is for our guests who are watching this, and thank you. There are 5 reasons people do this, 3 reasons people should try Park Lane, and 1 reason you should do it now. But now in the holidays going into the new year. The 5 reasons people try this. It's kind of quick, but I can give you details on all of it, as can the person who invited you to watch this. Number 1 is money. We make great money. Our stylists start at 30%. They go up from there. Park Lane has an amazing compensation plan that as you promote as a leader, you make more money on what you do. Just hold shows. You can make up to 50% commission. And we don't pay on profit base or reduced commission or wholesale. We play on full retail, 2x4 orders. So number 1 is the money, and the money is really great. If just part-time, a side gig, everybody who's wise tells us we should do that. We should have 1 or 2 side gigs going on. So the money's great. Number 2, it's flexible. You do it when you want. It's always been a beautiful thing about our business, the industry. It's even more important now virtually. Remember 40 years ago when Lee and I started, and me a long time before, girl, we could build as far as we could drive. And I would drive 3 hours for a show. I'd tell them it has to be $1,000 show, but I would do that, but we were locked. The virtual world in COVID made us realize we can sell anywhere. And so it's flexible even to the 10th, 10 times greater than it ever used to be. You do it when you want, and you work around all the other things. Number 3 is free gifts. There's all this stuff. Lee does so much stuff. Lee gives away bags, designer bags, nice bags. She'll post them, and my wife will go, I want that bag. Hold up this bag from a Facebook post. Like, don't do that to me, Lee. But that's all stuff, and that's done. Most of that is done locally in Canada, but there are always free gifts. The 4th thing is the trips and awards. And from Park Lane, you're going to hear why they can do this in just a minute and the 3 reasons. But we offer 2 trips a year. Listen, we're the only direct sales company that does that anymore. I'm in a networking group with guys who are men and women who are CEOs, were CEOs of big companies around the world all the time. And they always want to know how we can do what we do. And they ask me, and I'm not even a Levi, okay? But we can do that because it's a 70-year-old company. You're going to hear me talk about that. Privately held, they've got lots. They make very small margins. And they've got lots that they invest with the people. 2 trips a year. We're announcing a new one that comes up, and it'll be it's a beach location because we're going to Amsterdam. We're not just out finishing the repeat. So 2 trips a year and the free gifts. If you look at, ask the person who invited you about Rich Rewards. It's free jewelry every month that you get. There are bi-weekly contests. There was one for the first 2 weeks of December and the last 3 weeks of December. And that happens every month. The trips and the awards that the company provides are exceptional. And they can do that. You'll hear why in just a second. And number 5, the kit is the best offer. The 5th reason people try Park Lane or try any direct sales company is because if you look at all the ways you can get the product, our customer sale, be a hostess and get it free. I have to tell you, the best deal we give on our product always is to our stylists. The Levines, the Park Lane owners call them the family. And so if you like our jewelry and you're thinking you want to be involved with us, the best way to get our product, the best deal we'll give you is on the kit, the new stylist kit. And you get that and you agree to have some style shows, some events, part of a mega party and a number of things, and you're in the family. And that's the 5 reasons people try it. And people, that 5th reason, that is the reason many people have joined direct sales over the years. Just because I want to come in and be part of the family and get the best deal. Now, I hope you see, you have Lee and I as 2 great examples totaling over 65 years, but I hope you see why the industry is great. And regardless of what you hear, the industry, from our perspective, is great, because if you talk about direct sales, there are 2 very distinct versions of direct sales. There is MLMs and party plan direct sales companies. And if you want, I'll give you the 30-second explanation. In party plan direct sales companies, you are paid when you sell product. When you come in Park Lane, you can make money your first week. We just had someone in Australia who came in at her announcement show, paid her kit, got her all the hostess jewelry, and got her a check for $740. She started on Tuesday and got the check on Friday. You are paid when you sell product in a direct sales party plan company. If you build a team, recruit people, we'll compensate you, but we're not really even talking about that at the beginning. You can make money right away. In an MLM, you are compensated for recruiting, for bringing other people in. And in MLMs, you're primarily a consumer. You're a consumer of the product. It's generally an auto ship product, and you are paid if you bring people in. And you are compensated when you do that long term. You could come in an MLM company and you could start, and they will paint a beautiful picture for you. I spent a year in one of those companies, the number 4 direct sales company in the world right now, a company called PM International, and got to see it. And they paint a beautiful, and they're a great company. But you are compensated long-term when you bring more people in to be consumers. You can't make money right away. Big difference. And auto ship, if you've ever been on an auto ship and tried to get off it, we used to train the customer service people how to make it difficult to get off auto ship. That inside secret. So there's a big difference between the 2 companies, between the 2 methods of sales. We are a direct sales party plan company. Now, why Park Lane? Okay, number 1, the company is privately held, owned by a family called the Levine. They're 70 years in business. What a privately held direct sales company means is that they know the people. They know the people are the most important part, and they do what's best for the people. And when you have large conglomerates or private equity firms that own direct sales companies, they only care about the return. There are not many privately held direct sales companies around anymore, and none that are 70 years in the business. So number 1 is look at the company, look how long they've been around, and are they privately held? Because if they're a conglomerate, when I worked for a company called Princess House, we were owned by Colgate-Palmolive. When I worked for Alouette Cosmetics, and that's where I met Lee, and I was president of that company. Do you know the last 2 years I was there, we were owned by Valor Equity Partners. Our sister company was Tesla. That means I work for a company owned by Elon Musk. Okay? Listen, he's a brilliant guy, brilliant, smart guy, but they don't care about our stylists when a company is that big. So
this is where I'm going to jump in here, because I want to say something. As like, when you're working for a company that is family owned, they can do things like that. They do not have to go through all of the rigmarole and all the red tape and all of the nonsense that these big corporations do, where they've got to get the board of directors, everybody else to approve it. Park Lane can decide on Monday they want to do something, and by Monday afternoon it's put into place.
And
I've seen
they do often, Lee. It
Yeah.
happens all the time. But they're very nimble and they can do that. And that's number two. The second reason why Park Lane, they can give the most money back to the field because everything's paid for. The headquarters in Schaumburg, which is by O'Hare Airport in Chicago, that building's been paid for like 35 years ago. There's no debt. Most of the key employees are family members. They give the most money back to the field, and you can really testify to that as you see all the things we do if you add them all up. And secondly, they are pioneers of the direct hire program. And the direct hire program says if you have experience in another direct sales company and you want to come to us, we recognize that experience. We, in fact, honor that and reward that with an assignment as a direct sales leader. Look at Lee. She had experience in direct sales. She's the franchise owner in Canada. So she's like the poster child for how this can happen. But we are the champions of direct hire in doing that. And you know what? In the world, in the marketplace, that's the way it is. Can you imagine somebody telling you, no, you can't leave working for me and go get another better job? You can't do that. That wouldn't happen, right? The third reason to join Park Lane is because Park Lane loves Canada. And you need to hear this story. I don't think Lee's ever heard this, but this story I lived through because in 2000, I just celebrated my 14th year with Park Lane. And so I started in 2011. In 2012, we got everything ready to start to launch internationally. I was brought here for that reason, that blessing. And we launch in Canada. And I do an event for a woman named Jean Lunt, who was the top leader in a company called Leah Sophia in Canada. And she was very unhappy because she had given me some texts from the CEO of that company that was very not complimentary to her. And she was just unhappy. And she wanted to be a part of the opportunity. We did a launch event in Calgary, Alberta, Northern Calgary. Listen, you never forget a time like this. There were 88 people in that room. I just remember it was a long room. I remember the room. We had the jewelry up front. I had a big center op. Man, I was working that room. I was so excited. I was so confident. I was feeling so blessed. And at the end of that night, if any of you have seen me live, I have a questionnaire. We've filled out the questionnaire. We had 88 people in that room. 88 people said yes. Every person in that room said yes to Park Lane. I mean, I was flying. The next day, Friday, I'm getting ready to come back. I lived in Atlanta at that point. Come back to Atlanta. I'm getting ready to leave Jean's. I'm at Jean's house. We're celebrating going over this. A server comes in and presents us a cease and desist order. And that cease and desist order is suing Jean and Park Lane Jewelry Canada and Tom Judson. So I fly home and we spend a year fighting in the courts in Alberta to say, and what they said was, she sells for Leah Sophia. You can't have her come to another company. You can't do that. Is that fair anywhere else? So for a year, we fought this in court. At the end of the year, and my name is personally attached to this, all public record. You can check all this in Canada, right? So at the end of the year, the ruling comes down. They cannot limit where she can go. She can do anything she wants. And God bless Canada, because you're not like America. If you sue me in America and you're totally off base, I still have to pay all my legal fees. That's why everybody sues everybody in this country. Bad thing about America. In Canada, your tort law is different. If you sue me and you're wrong, you have to pay my legal fees. The legal fees Park Lane incurred in that battle were $840,000, which that company had to pay because they wrongly tried to stop us from helping a wonderful woman. A year later, we launched. Within 3 months, the first 3 months, she had sold over $1 million. And that was the start of Canada. And that company that did that shortly afterwards went out of business. Now, I feel terribly guilty about that because Bobby Creeber, who was their president in Canada, and Jim Turner, who was their worldwide president, were close personal friends. They didn't seem to mind to put my name on that legal document. Okay. But that when that happens, that I just want to tell you that story because that's how much we love Canada. And that year we had to wait, that was a brutal year. 12 to 13. I mean, I just remember, but that we just were so determined to do the right thing for her and her people. She had like 100 leaders and they completely abandoned them. And so that's why Park Lane, because Park Lane loves Canada. Last thing, the one. What is the one reason you should do it now? Well, Lee always has something she's giving away. And I know she's having a drawing if you fill out the questionnaire. And I'd love your feedback on this questionnaire because I'd love to know what did I do good and what did I say that you're like, what? I didn't even talk about that. You help me when you give that feedback. But if you fill out that questionnaire, you're going to have a drawing for an impressions bracelet. And I'll make sure it's a good one. I'll even give it to you, Lee, to do that. But look at that.
It is the Luna, and it was
Oh,
worth $266. That's what we are giving away today for Christmas.
Lee gives away the coolest stuff. But more than that, the reason now is because as we go through Christmas, and Carol and I are ones who have always never, ever gone in debt over Christmas. We plan for Christmas. She has always been a Christmas club girl. She puts money away every month. And now with 5 grandkids, we're spending bank. I mean, we're really spending bank on grandkids, but it's so great. But, you should never go in debt for Christmas. At least that's been our personal philosophy in our heart. But so many of us do. And there have been times we have. And if you have any kind of credit that you're doing over Christmas, the greatest way at the end of January, you'll get that bill. You could cover that bill doing a couple events, being part of Enduring Eleganc's mega party. Our mega party stylists will do $1,000. You're making $300, $350 in a night like that. So now is really the time because coming into the new year, you have a great opportunity to make extra money. If you decide it could be something more than that, it's a great thing to come into the new year with. We love New Year's where we have something new and fun to focus on. And that's what Park Lane is. So cool. Thank you, Lee. I'm so glad. I hope I didn't take too long.
No, that's a hell of a story. Wow. I didn't know. I mean, you always figure
That was before you.
Yeah, that was, well, I remember Jean. She was retiring just as I was opening up. We are coming into, believe it or not, Tom, in March, our 10th anniversary.
Oh, come on. It wasn't 10 years ago, was it?
It was 10 years ago. Yeah, our 10th anniversary. So all of our customers, because we're planning something big, so they're all kind of, and the stylists and everybody are as well. So just we get excited about that. What have we got to be excited about in January besides convention? Anything else that's going to be happening then?
Well, you've got a new incentive trip, and we're going to Amsterdam right now is the repeat. So this ends, and Park Lane. One of the beautiful things is there's never a gap in our trips. So this trip wasn't going to start till January because kind of where it's at and everything. So that's why we had the repeat for Canada in the month of December, where you could earn it again. This is a beachy location. It's one we've never been to, which is hard when you think of around the equator. I mean, Park Lane's been to almost everything in Aruba and everywhere. We're going to Cancun in 68 days. This is one we've never been to. It is probably the most. In fact, not probably. It is one of the most prominent areas where ultra rich billionaires are buying like lots of land down there because it's just beautiful. It's in a part of the world that is so incredible. And that's where we're going, but I can't tell you anything else. You also have a brand new product line that's coming out.
Yay! That's the biggie. We all want the new jewelry.
Unless you think that, our lead designer just had a baby. And yeah. Taylor just had a baby, Rose, little baby girl, more girls in the Park Lane family. We love that. And so everybody kind of worried about, okay, is the new line and is she there? And so I was at a Zoom with Scott Levine, who's our CEO and one of the co-owners. He said she was working like just like a dog for the 3 months up. And we've got everything lined up all through the end of March. So it's fine. Taylor's taking care of everything. So yeah, incredible new product line. And you've got to love, if you're one of the family, if you're a stylist, if you're, trust us if you're a guest, but the product line, if Lee and I could just think back to when we started. If I think back 14 years ago, I mean, we're dramatically different, and we are so on the cutting edge of the design and the style of products, and we're still some for everything. But it's just amazing. Our holiday collection came. I know she's flashing the bling. It's easy.
Yeah. These are the Santa, what are they? Santa baby earrings that are they're just came out. So grab them quick because they're not going to be around very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
also some great training, really some wonderful panels and things along that line that we always enjoy at conventions. So lots of cool stuff. A new, maybe a new kind of car award program for leaders in Canada and the US too. So there you go. More people get money or cars.
I love how he drops all these little nuggets for us to sit there and percolate on for
I
all
want that as someone to tell. I can tell anybody but my wife usually. So
yes, and she keeps everything very quiet too. So yeah, can't get anything out of her. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tom. We do have, okay, for all you ladies who are watching here, #replay if you're catching us on the replay, and I know so many of you do, just because Canada's big. We got what, 4 or 5 time zones that we're hitting here. So #replay. There is, of course, the survey to fill out. Now, okay, we were having trouble getting that survey up to date because I have some questions in there about Tom and what he was going to share with us. So if you're opening it up and it's the old survey, come back in half an hour because we are working on getting that updated, okay? Because I want to hear what you have to say about, and Tom wants to know too, what you thought about what he has to say, how he shares with us. So, and here is our impression bracelet. This is for Christmas. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. This is called, what did I say it was called? Luna. So this was available, I think maybe 4 or 5 months ago, but oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And again, it's the impression setting, which just is
amazing.
Yeah, just gives you goosebumps, right? I mean, and I know all these ladies, I'm watching the comments here, they all have an impression obsession. So we're just feeding that addiction, letting you know. So that's what we're doing the draw here for today. And I think Tom was going to throw a little something for an extra draw. I caught him off guard. Sorry, guys.
What do you want? Tell me, Lee, what you want. I'll give it to you. How often do I say that? Come on.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, Tom will give us absolutely anything. So we will be doing a second draw today, and we'll be giving away a piece of jewelry from the new line before it goes away. Okay, the new Christmas line before it goes away. I've got a few pieces I have set aside, so we will be drawing because I know you guys were like in love, and it might even be these gorgeous earrings here, which I think you guys who know me know I like. That's big and bling. So thank you so much. Okay, so the secret word today is Christmas shopping. Okay, so make sure you get that secret word in there, and make sure that you are filling out the correct survey for us, please. I said we had a little bit of trouble getting that updated. We will do that for you. Tom, thank you so much for jumping in here and sharing with us and telling us that story. I did not know that one before. So can you imagine getting served with papers? Oh my God. Unreal. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And so #replay if you're watching us, and making sure you share this because it is shareable, and get that survey filled out. And we will be doing a draw for this beauty right here. Take care, everybody. Talk to you real soon. Bye now.